Dear Diary, where do I start? Dear Diary, how long am I supposed to feel this way? No. Dear Diary, life is precious.
So welcome back to Life After Grief podcast episode 5 with your girl Lachae, and today we have a special guest who goes by the name of Miss Cornica. Okay, so me and Cornica have been best friends since the 3rd grade, right? I think we knew each other a little bit longer, but we became best friends since the 3rd grade. Okay, so throughout friendship, I felt like, you was a very supportive friend. You are a very supportive friend. You're very caring and understanding. And one thing about you, you do always show up for me and my kids. So I definitely appreciate you for that. Okay. So I know how we did episode 2, and we talked about friends. And I know that on episode 2, I talked about the situation that me and you had. Do we want to call that falling out?
No, we ain't beefing nothing.
I know. So what? Alright. So
I mean,
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
So the misunderstanding that we had. Alright. So before I even dropped the episode, I reached out to you and I told you like, hey, on the second episode, I'm gonna talk about what me and you went through. Is that okay?
Right.
And you was like, yeah, I don't care. You don't never care. You be like, yeah, I don't care. I'm like, okay. See, I'm thinking you knew what I was talking about though. Okay, so in episode 2, let me just give a little recap. Episode 2, we talked about our friends and our family. How we felt like during that time, who was there for us and who wasn't there for us.
Right.
So I talked about the situation with me and you, how we had stopped talking. And I only talked about that was because that was one of the situations that like really affected me. Like during my grieving time, it really affected me. So I know you had texted me and you was like, oh bitch, I'm about to call you because I feel the same way about the podcast. And I'm looking at my phone in the car, I'm like, okay, like what she feels that way about? Like I'm thinking like I already talked to her about it. I got the okay because I never want to, talk about a situation if the other person not comfortable with it.
Right.
So I made sure I brought it to your attention first. And you was like, okay, yeah, no, go ahead. But then it's like when I uploaded it, you texted me and was like, you felt some type of way. Why is that? So from your point of view, when you see episode 2, like how do you think I portrayed you? Or like what did you get out of that?
Well, like when you did discuss that, about the whole podcast thing, I was like, oh, that'll be good for, you and your friend and everything. I thought it was a good idea. You both explained, y'all grief. So when you did come to me and was like, hey, I'm a talk about our situation we experienced, went through at the time. I was like, okay, like I probably want to listen, but I don't be can, but I just was like, okay. But I really didn't know, like, what you probably talking about. Because I'm like, we didn't really go through nothing. I thought maybe, I probably was just like, we just stopped talking, but I didn't know it was the whole, the other parts to it. But so when I watched the podcast, I was just at work, I'm watching it, being supportive, looking at it, like, all right, cool. Then it just struck me. I'm at work looking like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, I'm lost. So I'm like, I'm at work. I can't even focus on my work. I'm just all over the place now. I'm like, oh my God, like what? Like, I'm calling my mom. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, Mom, why can't I do this? I'm like, no, I'm about to text her. I'm like, because I try to communicate with everybody, as much as I can. So I just texted her. I'm like, she's gonna be like, I'm tripping, but it was really, clear. I text you, and then we got on the phone, was discussed, what happened or whatever, and we both was confused. And well, I ain't gonna say confused. I was confused on my end is why you stopped. How you was. Put it. Help me shit.
Why we stopped communicating?
Yeah.
All right. So from your perspective, why did you think we stopped talking?
All right. I thought maybe because me. It was your first time experiencing losing somebody. Well, I'm gonna say like close to it, and I never experienced losing nobody close to me. So I didn't really know how to like reach out or so I just just checking on you. I was at work at the time. I'm like, let me check on her. I'm not there physically with her or whatever. So I was like, let me just text her. So I just reached out and say like, hey, how you feeling? And then it just was like, how do you think I feel? How I'm supposed to feel, whatever. So I just was like, I'm not gonna keep reaching out to nobody, and they, won't keep giving me a response. I'm like, all right. So I just left it alone. So I never.
So was I giving you that response every time you text me? It was like an attitude.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like an attitude. I was like, I'm not gonna keep, reaching out. I don't know how to reach out, but we just saying like how you feel and checking. I know you was pregnant, for a long in your pregnancy and everything. So after that, I just stopped reaching out, basically, and you just never reached back out to me. But you had your reason why you wasn't, reaching back out to me, which I didn't know. So it was no communication right there, and
all right. So let's go back to that. Let's talk about it. So I remember me texting you. I mean, you texting me because you were checking up on me, and I remember you asking me like, how do you feel? And I just was like, how do you think I feel? Like.
Like I'm supposed to feel, right?
Yeah, I just think that at that time I had so much fucking anger, and it wasn't like towards anyone, like of my friends. I think I just was just so angry at the situation. It was like, damn, man, this man planned the whole future. I'd have been with him for 5 years. He come home, we plant to have a baby. I get pregnant, and then 6 months of my pregnancy, he get killed. And it just was like, I was so like. Fucking like my head just was so cloudy. Like I did not know like what to think, and I still had to process everything with me being pregnant. So it was like, all right, just looking back now, I see like when a person is grieving, it's no right question to ask them.
Right.
Like I know that now looking back, but my thing was, okay, yeah, you had texted me like, hey, how you feeling? And that's probably just because again you never been through it. You just ask them like a generalized question, like, well, let me just ask them how I feel, because you don't know what to say to somebody who lost somebody. Okay, so when you had asked me that, I just was just like, yo, how the fuck do people think I'm supposed to feel? It necessarily wasn't like taken towards you. Yeah, it wasn't intentionally. I just was just like so fucking angry. And then I think you texted me, it was like, every time I text you, you always get small or something like that, whatever. And I don't remember verbatim what I said back, or if I even said anything back. But okay, we did not talk after that, I don't think. But the picture situation came up. But this is why I was like, I thought you knew like why I was really mad about the picture. So the picture kind of like started it, because it was like after you had texted me and said that, I think I'm not sure where we was at, but you told my sister like about the picture. I know I called and asked you about the picture. And mind you, this was after you texted me and said, how you feeling? So this was like afterwards when I was like, how you think I feel? I don't think we had talked for like a couple days. And then my sister came to me and was telling about the picture. Like, Monica came to me. She told me you asked about the picture. She didn't know how to tell you. She asked me, do she think that you should tell me? And my sister said she told you, like, yeah. And you was like, Keon asked me about the picture, but I saying that I got it, but I don't know I don't want to tell her. So that's when I called you. Remember when I called you and I was like, just straight zapping, like, what the fuck? I asked you about a picture. I'm crying to you about a picture, and you sat there, lied in my fucking face, and told me you didn't see a picture or nothing about it. And then we completely stopped talking after that. I think I just was so fucking angry because I just felt like, all right, at the time you ain't had to. Well, just looking back now, I understand that. All right, I probably wouldn't have showed you the picture if it was vice versa. But I probably would have confirmed it. Like, yeah, I did see the picture, Cornica. I did see the picture. Because I think I more so wanted confirmation. I was like, it's a picture going around of him, dead in the street. Did you see it? And you just, like, completely act like you know what I was talking about. That part made me mad. So then when my sister told me, I'm just like, damn, I just asked her about the picture. And she's telling me, like, she didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. But then she went to you. So then I called you, I said what I said. I was like so fucking angry. I just was so angry. And then we just never reached back out to each other. So, but during that time, I'm still going through my grieving emotions. I'm still like, pregnant with my son. I'm still like, life still got to go on. I still had to go to work. I still had to pay bills. Like, I still had to do shit. But it was just like at times where I just felt like, I don't know. I felt like, I can't do, oh no, I'm about to cry. I just felt like, damn, I can't do this shit no more. And it was like, the one person who I expected to be there for me was not there. Like, all right, I know I was getting smart or whatever, but it's like, damn, you gotta put yourself in my shoes. Like, damn, this girl, first child, 6 months pregnant, child father got killed. And then I just felt like you chose to keep your distance or whatever. I felt like that wasn't the right time to do that. Which I understand, like, who wants to deal with somebody and they edit, like, part they attitude. But I'm like, damn, you can at least, like, understand where I'm coming from. Just like, bitch, you've been best friends for 3rd grade. So if nobody else was there, I expected you to be there. You could have, like, all right, a couple days, gave me a little bit of space or whatever. But it's like, you never checked back up on me, never nothing. Until it was the day of the baby shower, and you text me, like, oh, thanks for the invite, son, but I will be there to support you and baby E. And I'm just looking like, why the fuck? Like, I ain't talked to you down there 2 months. So I think I just did not respond back. And I told my other best friend, Shanisha, I was like, yeah, my nigga had texted me. And she just was all like, yo, ready to talk. That's your best friend standing third. And I just was just so angry. I'm like, it's nothing I gotta say to her. She ain't checking me the whole fucking 2 months while I'm going through this. And it wasn't like, all right, a month passed. And then, because normally, maybe like a month passed, shit started to die down. Mm-hmm. It was like, you isolated yourself like within like 2 weeks, maybe like 3 weeks, maybe at the most. Right. It was still like fresh, and I was like, "Yo, damn!" And like for years, like I think like a long time, like that it just made me kind of like, I don't know. I just never forget it. I just never forgot it. We started back talking or whatever, and I forgot how we started back talking, but we started back talking. You was there for me when I had my son. You went to my doctor's appointment with me, which I greatly, truly appreciated. But I always felt like that shit always played in the back of my head. Like, damn, the one time I need you the most, it's like you wasn't even there. And I don't know, it just like it didn't turn to like hatred or nothing. It just was like I couldn't forgive it. I mean, I couldn't forgive at the time. So then eventually as years go on, I finally just was like, all right, I forgive her. Like, just looking back now, I'm like,
but it still bother you.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't intentionally. Like, I understand her point of view. I had to kind of like allow myself to go through the grieving process, to take a step back and like analyze everything of what I was doing, like my actions and all that. And I don't know, it just was like it. And someone once told me, they was like, you gotta forgive and forget. And I'm just like, okay, I can forgive a person if I felt like it wasn't no ill intent into it. So it's like, okay, I forgave one nigga. But just like, it's not like I hold that against you, but it's like that, I'm just not going to forget that. That was something like traumatic, that was something important. It was like, anything happened with you, it's like, bitch, I show up. Like, I be there. You call me, you need a call or something, like, I be there. So it just was like, even like afterwards, like after his death and everything, I still was trying to be a good friend. I still showed up for you. I still was there for you if you needed anything. But it's still like be playing in my mind, like, yo, just like that one time. Right. And I think I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I definitely forgive you. Just because I want to say I forget. I just won't forget the situation, but it's not like I'm going to hold it against you. Right. So that was my aspect of it. And it took me kind of like years to be like, all right, you know what, Keon, you got to kind of like let it go. Like, just looking back, like, she didn't mean that, It's causing my actions. I'm going through stuff with grief. I'm angry at everybody. My sister even texted me, was like, she had texted me, how you doing or something. I think I probably said the same thing. She just was like, you can't, like, push the people you love away. That's basically what you're doing. Like, we're trying to help you, you pushing us away. But just, like, it's kind of hard to explain when you're not in a situation. It's like, yo, y'all don't know how I feel. I understand that. But it's like, I had so much anger. I was so angry. And I just was like, nobody kind of, like, took that into consideration of my feelings. Of, like, yeah, everybody was concerned. Like, damn, she lost her child father. She pregnant. This, that, and the third. But it was like, nobody really asked me, like, just like even like as the years went on, I felt like I held so much in. I feel like nobody took the time to ask me to like talk about it. So then it's like when I did the podcast and I'm trying to be like transparent and I'm trying to just show people like, this is like everyday thing. Like nobody's perfect. Everybody go through stuff. And I'm trying to, just expressing like how I felt. So then when I start talking about everything, the situation unfold, it's like the emotions start coming back. Like, because I never got that chance to talk about it over the years. It's like I held everything in. And I finally get to talk about it, so now I'm getting kind of like angry again. So it was like, like damn, like what the fuck?
So let me address episode 2.
Okay.
Yeah, she explained to me, that she was putting up the podcast and, and got my consent confirmation and everything. So, like I said before, I was like, okay. So when I seen it, when she posted it, she told me the date that it was dropping and everything. So when you posted it and everything, I just was like, I'm watching it. I'm like, I look like a bad friend. Like, how you, portrayed me on the episode. So I'm like, oh wow, like, I look like I just wasn't there. I just look like, I mean, to you, I probably was considered, a bad friend for, the support due to it was like a misunderstanding or miscommunication.
I just thinking that like that little,
right,
wasn't like you just was overall bad friend. It was just that little time frame, like
right.
When I needed you, you wasn't there.
So when I seen episode 2, I'm like, damn, like I look like I want to tell my story, but not like to the media, like I called you, we talked about it on the phone. So I was like, oh no, let me call her, reach out. Or whatever. So, I reached out. We was on the phone talking about, was crying and everything. It was so raw, like, So, I'm just was like, I didn't know that was the reason why, all the, like, the attitude you was giving me and everything was about a picture.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't about the picture. The attitude just was because just my situation, what I was going through. Oh, wow. I was just fucking angry. It just was like, y'all keep asking me.
See, I thought you were upset at me about... Because when you asked me about the picture, I basically said, like, I didn't have it at the time. So that's why I'm thinking, like, all right.
I was upset about that. But that was kind of... Yeah, I was upset about that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, the attitude was,
But that was before that. The attitude was before. Mind you, I called you because you texted me and was like, every time I text you, you always got an attitude.
Okay.
And I just was like, no, you said you always getting smart. I said... Because it was like, what the fuck, you asked me how I'm feeling, how you think I'm feeling? Okay. The picture was after that, because I don't think we talked in a couple days.
All right.
Because I called you and I just started wilding out, and you just was, I don't remember what the fuck you said. I just
think
was like...
when we was at his mom's house, and I asked your sister about
about
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't think it, was a right place and time,
right.
They thought like, oh yeah, here go a picture, that was something, for me and you. So the next thing closer to you, I spoke with your sister, like, hey, you think I should show, Key the picture, whatever. And she was like, just like, yeah, I think, but me thinking about your feelings, and, at the time, I'm thinking, like, this not the right time. Like, I could, discuss this with her another time. So, I don't know, the communication you and your sister probably had afterwards. So, that's why brought your tension and, frustration and everything out. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, so when we did speak about it, and you was basically like, you had the picture or saw the picture or however, but I didn't tell you about the picture at the time. So, I'm just in there like, damn, like, was I supposed to show the picture in the midst of his mom's house, and then I would have been like on on the spot, like, oh, everybody would have been like, oh, let me see, send this to me, like, that's not even me to be flaunting around. Like, I'm not private or nothing like that. I'm just whatever man you talk about, that's what we talk about.
Right.
Like, it don't leave from us. So it's just like, damn. Once I saw the post, I'm like, damn, like, she was mad at me about the picture. Like, I didn't know that. I'm thinking me and you mad because we stopped talking with, though. Like, I just stopped reaching out and wasn't there for you at the time when you was going through your grief and everything. But, like, everything else, like, me showing up at his mom's house, us at the candle, like, when you called, I was there. But then it just was, like, I distanced myself away. Like, I isolated myself because it was just, like I said, every time, I was reaching out, it was, like, attitude and, like, smartness. And, it could have been, you was pregnant, your hormones, your emotions, and everything at the time. So I was just, like, I didn't contact him in, month or two or so.
Like 1 or 2 months.
I think I reached out to Shanisha, your other best friend. I think I reached out to her, or she reached out to me. I forgot how it went. Don't get me wrong.
No, I think she did. I think
she reached out to me on Instagram and was like, "Hey, I think it would be a good idea you come to the baby shower."
Yeah, I think it was Twitter. Yeah, I remember I talked about that.
I think it was Instagram. I'm so mad I lost my old page, but yeah, I don't know how it went, but I think it was a reach out with me and her. Mm-hmm. And I know she was like, I think it'd be a good idea that you come to the baby shower. So, me, I don't care. So, I'm like, well, I'm going to come. I'm going to go. I still never have talked to you or reached out. Yeah, so. Your uncle, me and him, he was with a friend of mine, and he was like, he wanted to go to a cookout. He wanted to go to a baby shower, with me. or whatever. So he like, can you have a gift? So I'm like, hey, we can write both our name on the gift at the time, whatever. So, me and him showed up. I know that's your favorite uncle because us growing up. I'm like, she gonna be so happy you came, whatever. And so, I came. So we still got like other little, mutual friends and everything. So, me and you, I gave you a hug or whatever. Like we didn't like really socialize or anything like that. But,
And I think it was more so because I just was like, bitch, how dare you? And I ain't mean to, like, right. It's just I'm just like, you, like, how dare you show up?
But I showed up.
When you had, you showed up, and that's what I'm saying.
The godmother, so
you was
like, I'm going to still
there,
like,
but I just felt like that one little,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, traumatic thing, like it just being fresh. I just felt like I wish you never would have kind of like isolated yourself.
And I do that now. Like I will isolate myself now and not call you or talk to you for like weeks, and you'll be like, "Why you never call me?" And I'll be like, "I don't even know what to say." Like, cause I'm just like isolate. Like you do that now. Don't I do that now? Like, I might, but we still talk. Like, I do that with. I don't really have a lot of friends, but my two main friends. But yeah.
So okay.
I don't know why. And like we said on the phone, we had the conversation. She's like, "Why do you do that? Why don't you explain or talk about it?" Like, I don't know. Like I don't like talking about what I go through. I just like to. Just go through it and just isolate myself. I feel better when I isolate it. I feel like I get by or get through it, whatever I'm going through. It could be stress, like a depression, anything. Mm-hmm. So, that's how I feel like I kind of like get through it. Because, everybody got their stuff going through in life.
Right.
Everything. So, I find isolation better for me.
And so, when you explained that to me over the phone, right? I think growing up, I never experienced that side of you. Because even like when you was going through stuff in relationships and I was going through stuff in relationships, we like called each other like after the fact, like, girl, cause why XYZ, this, that, and the third, like why this happened or whatever. So it wasn't like, all right, you called me and mind you, we younger at the time, so you never kind of really like shut down as much as you do now. So it's like when it happened during my child father, on the whole situation it happened, you kind of just like, all right, let me just like, kind of remove myself, give her some space. I'm just like, I just couldn't understand like your logic of why you would do that at that time.
Right, that was like a
but then,
big space.
Yeah, so then, and I think I just was more so mad that you like let it go on as long as you did. I'm pretty sure you thought about me and stuff like that, but this was like, damn, like you didn't even reach out. You reached out like, I think it was the day before the baby shower or the day of the baby shower, probably the day before. Yeah, you reached out to me, and I'm just looking at the message like, girl, how dare you? Like how dare you think you about to show up when you have not been here this whole time? But that was just me, like, again, in my emotions, being angry. And then when you came, I know you gave me a hug. And you was like, girl, I don't give a fuck if you made. You said something like that. And we took a picture, and I just was like, this is not the time or the place. Because I was like, we got to have a conversation. But I'm like, this is not the time or the place. So I just kind of, like, let it go. Mm-hmm. And this was like it was just so much going on during the baby shower and everything.
And I think after like the baby shower, I think like I reached out was like, no, I think we reached out. I think I reached out about like his doctor's appointment or something like that. I want to go to the doctor's appointment with you or something like that. And we got the doctor's appointment, and we talked a small conversation. We went in the bathroom and everything. And then after that, it was like our friendship gradually. When he did, when you went in the hospital and everything, he was like. Not getting back there, but we was like kind of like
rebuilding
like,
it. Yeah.
Like I was there, like that's my godson. Like I was there. Like let me know when he's born. Like I know the father not gonna be there physically. Like I want to be there.
And I think that we didn't really have like an in-depth conversation like we did over the phone. Because I think that like when stuff happened to me or like somebody hurt my fucking feelings, which I noticed, like this year I noticed, I don't never like express myself on how I feel. It's like okay, it's always a situation where all right, boom, we start back talking again. But we never addressed the elephant in the room. We never addressed like what happened. I never say how I felt. That person never say how they felt. It probably was I apologize for doing X, Y, Z. And I'm just like, oh, okay,
and it was
okay.
never like even an apology. And it just was like, I reached out. I think by me just reaching out like, hey, I want to come to the next doctor's appointment. And I made sure I showed up to the appointment. And then I think you reached out like you about to go on labor. You was getting induced, matter of fact. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna come back for work. Mm-hmm. I think I left work early or when I got off from work because the induction take days and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was there, whatever, and we was on the road. Just rocking little old times, like we ain't like addressing, like why we stopped talking or anything. So this was like that probably wasn't the time and place because you weren't going to leave. So it was like we just do, as time went by, we just
Yeah, kind of like, yeah,
like,
rebuilding it, pushed it back to the side, but the conversation was never had.
Right.
And I
So
felt
that's
the
what came in with, like, when you made the second part, you know, the second podcast about what me and you went through, I was kind of like in shock, and I was just like, I never knew this was the reason, you know, or this how she felt, or anything. So.
But it wasn't my thing to make you like look like a bad friend. You see how like you I feel like when people go through stuff, you'll never realize or you'll never see yourself in that moment.
Right.
So now it's like, all right, it then passed. Now you seeing somebody else talk about it, and you looking like, damn, she made me seem like a bad friend. It's like I wasn't trying to make you seem like a bad friend, but these are the events that happened.
Right.
And it just was like, I never tried to portray that you was a bad friend. I just said that, talked about the picture, and I just was like, you know, we didn't talk for like 2 months, and that shit really fucking hurt me because it was like, yo, you my fucking best friend. If anybody, like, you should have been there. I had like people reaching out to me, you know, they would stop by and stuff like that. I'm just like, damn, you know, like, I expect that from my best friend, even though like we kind of, I called you, wowed you out,
and I just felt like, you know, I wasn't coming in your space because I was like, damn, like she giving all this attitude, you know, I'm keep my distance. I'm just like I don't want to be in negativity.
Yeah.
Like if I was the king, you know, I should have at the time, but I was feeling like, you know, my own feelings too. Like I'm like, I don't want to go and she acting like this towards me. Like then that's gonna rub me the wrong way, you know. And that was in time and place, but yeah. So,
I just think doing that, I just needed to like.
You wanted me there.
Yeah, but I also needed to kind of like go through the emotions because I was mean to everybody, and I did not notice it until like, you know, looking back at it, like, damn, I was a bitch. But it was like, I didn't mean to be that, like, portray myself as that person, but it was like I was going through a lot, and it was like nobody could understand what I was going through. Like nobody was in my shoes, nobody nothing. It's like at the end of the day, you know, y'all life go on. I'm the one that's still stuck here pregnant, about to have a baby, child father disease, don't know nothing about raising a kid, like, no, nothing. Y'all kids still got their father. Like, it just was like a lot of emotions and like anger. It was more so like
first time,
anger.
you know, experiencing a situation like that. So, and like I said, I never experienced losing somebody close to me, and never experienced one of my friends lose. So, you know, I had to show like a support, like you know, my closest friend, like you and Ashley, for instance, like I never experienced that. None of us never experienced it
right
for each other. So, you know, but now I learned that, you know, reaching out to somebody saying how you feel. How you feeling? I know that now. You know, just say, hey, sending prayers and condolences. You know, something like that instead of like, how you feeling today? Or, you know, I learned how to rephrase my message now. So like, I won't reach out and be like, how you feeling? Like,
but not to say that's not a bad question though. I just think, just when people are kind of like going through something traumatic like that, it just kind of like, to me, I just feel like it's kind of a stupid question. Although it's like a, you know. Yeah, like, you don't know what's the right words to say to a person, so you just say, let me just say how you feeling, or everything will get better. Like, people that are going through grief, we don't want to hear that, because it's like, yo, it's not going to get better. It may get better like further along, but like as of right now, it's not going to get better. How you think I'm feeling? I'm depressed as fuck. I'm angry. Like, so I feel like people.
I expected a response, something like, it's hard, or maybe, you know, something like different, but it was just like. The response just clicked back, like, how you think of it? Like, I can hear her saying this, like, how you think of it? I'm like, fuck no, like.
I was just.
I'm at work with my coworkers, like, is I'm fucking crazy? Like, I can't really recall what they were saying, but I'm just looking like something crazy, like, you know, like, cause like, you know, a couple months when I lost my grandmother, like, you know, and somebody would ask me like how I'm feeling, you know, I wasn't angry, but I can say, you know, you were angry because you were pregnant. I wasn't angry, you know, I just was like, you know, it's like. That was two different kind of situations.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
But I just was like, I wasn't like kind of angry when nobody asked me that question, because like my grandma was the closest thing to me, like somebody I see in my daily life, like like my mom, like you know. So you know when somebody was asking like how I'm feeling, I'm like, you know, I'm taking it day by day, like it's hard, like but not seeing her here every day, but you know I wasn't as angry. I wouldn't say like you know how you was or anything, but.
I think it was just more so like the situation, like the circumstances.
Right.
If you go into about like how he got killed. It just
it was like a natural death, and then it was like
like an unplanned death. So I think I would just more so, and then I kind of like, I think in a sense I kind of like blamed myself a little bit, because it was just like, all right, I'm the last person he talked to. It just had me thinking like, damn, I should have kind of like maybe lied, said I was going to labor, I was having control. I actually like did more to get him to come back into the house. So I felt like. It's kind of like that little part that kind of like weighs down to me. Like, damn, well, like, did I really do all I could do? Like, was it really my fault? Like, so that kind of like, it like bothered me a lot. And it just turned into anger. Like, I would just
figuring out like what you could have did.
Yes, it was just like so much anger. Then it was like, okay, I'm going through stuff with the doctors. They telling me like, yeah, like complications. I'm a high risk. I gotta come in every week. I'm just not. Nobody's not really like explaining stuff to me. And like at that age in my life, and I'm just like, yo, why? Like, why did this have to happen to me? Like, why am I going through all this? So then it's like, all right. I was so like underweight when I was pregnant with him. I had to drink insurance. I'm trying to like, all right, let me kind of like put the grief to the side a little bit and try to focus on like, like having a healthy baby, because they telling me like, oh, he's underweight. I got to just scan me. So I'm just like, okay, let me just try to do that. And it just was like, I never allowed myself to grieve. So it just was always like I had like little moments, and I just bust out crying. But it's like I didn't have nobody to talk to. Like, I think like after a while, maybe like a year ago, nobody really like sat and talked, like, like held a conversation with me about it, or even asked me if I even wanted to talk about it. Just, all the stuff I was going to do with the mother, the family. It just was like, yo, that shit just was really fucked up. Like the way they treated me, the way I went about it. And it was like through all that, I tried to stay strong and be like, all right, at the end of the day, my son need me. At the end of the day, I know that his father, like, like what was best for me and what was best for his son. Like, I know at the end of the day, his father understand my intentions. So I just had to kind of like, do stuff for my own good, for my child own good. Yeah, but it was just like I tried.
You graduated that year, the same year?
I did. Yeah, no, I graduated the next year, because I graduated in 2018. But it was, but that's what I'm saying. People will see stuff like that, like, yeah, you still went to school, you still graduated, like, oh, you so strong. And it just was like, no, I was like, bitch, like about to fall off the cliff. Like, it was just like not easy. And it was like when I graduated school, I went to the cemetery. Like right after my graduation, I went to the cemetery. I just thought bawling tears, crying, because it was like through those times he was helping me. Like if I had to write a paper, it's like, all right, I'm taking criminal justice. This nigga damn near criminal, like, or like doing a little criminal activity. So I would always like get his point of view on stuff. So it was like, it just meant so much to me. Like he really helped me. I remember it was one time I was like, I used to work at the post office. I think I told you I was delivering mail, and I was pregnant, and I just was like so over it. I was calling him complaining. This nigga pulled up to where I was at, gave me the mail. I told him how to do it, and he started like delivering the mail with the other side while I did the other side. So it was like little shit like that was just like, it meant a lot to me, and it just was like, damn. So when I graduated, I'm just like replaying all that, like, yo, it was like I lost my person. It just was like, yeah, it was just so hard. And it just was like just dealing with other people and different emotions. I don't know. I really do not know how I made it through, but I did want to apologize for like my actions during that time. Just because
like,
I
both
just
didn't
like,
know, like, it was like, your reason when they, got introduced to the podcast and everything. Then, me on the outside looking in, like,
right.
Damn, like, it was about a picture. I'm like,
but
I was confused. So that's why I'm like,
that.
oh no, let me, reach out to her. Like, I didn't know that she was upset at me about, a picture and me not being there, being there to be supportive or showing my support. Like,
alright, so when you say that, but how did you not know that was like I was upset about that? Is it because I never addressed it, or
it could be probably like she never said nothing like, oh, no, you did address it. You said when when you called me up, like, you had the picture and
right. So how did you not know that I was?
I didn't know. That's why we stopped talking. Like I said, I stopped talking, reaching out after.
Yeah, after the text message, and I had called you about okay.
Yeah, so I just was like, I'm just going. I ain't gonna say it was like I isolated. I just was like, I just stopped reaching out because it was like, the response I was getting back. So I just was like, I just fell back from.
Okay.
Fell back. Like completely back.
Yeah, I know. I know. We can laugh about it now. It's okay.
Yeah, we cried about it on the phone. That's what I'm like. I wish the conversation was recorded, like the phone conversation, because like I was so upset at work, like I couldn't finish my work. Like I was in corners on the phone, like we was crying, like damn bitch, like why we couldn't, had this recording, like. Then when she asked me, like, I think we should do the record, I'm like, I really didn't want to do it, but I'm like, Right.
I just felt like I wanted you to tell your side because again, you said I made it like you was a bad friend. It was like, no, that wasn't my intention. So I wanted you to come on and just tell your side on your reasons on your actions, basically. And I just, just kind of show people like, people go through stuff. Friends go through stuff, but I feel like friends don't talk about stuff that they go through. Right. It may just be like, oh, okay, that happened, and we just, all right, we back talking. Let's just act like it never happened.
And usually, if I go do something with my friends or like have like a misunderstanding phone, I'll be like, all right, we fussed or we made sure. I'll be like, I probably call like a few hours out. Then I call like, bitch, what you doing? Like, but like that just was like, that really just like pushed me away. Like I was just like completely like, no, like I'm not about to do this like. Which I should have had, but I really just was like no, like no.
It's okay though.
But we talked about it. I should have been there more, but you was angry at the time. And I can say over the past years, since the incident, our relationship grew stronger. I mean, we did have a strong relationship then, but it grew stronger over, from our little mediation at the time.
And I just think that just came with like maturity.
Yeah, he older now.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff.
Definitely got 2 children and
now. Yes. But I do appreciate you. This man is your friend. He's a very good friend. And always showing up. Like I really, really do appreciate you. I feel like out of all my friendships, and I kind of don't want to like say it like this, but just like you will probably be like a person that I would like, no, I can't just like, let something so small or just let anything kind of come between our friendship. It's just like, all right, we probably give each other a breathe or whatever, but
yeah,
like,
but you be fussing me out like, bitch, why you ain't answering the phone? I be like, damn, like she think I'm her boyfriend.
Let
like,
me call her back.
God damn,
because
like,
I be needing to talk.
Yo, she will call me. I be like,
I be needing to.
She be like, let me know if you don't feel like talking. And I be like, oh my god. But I would just answer. If I don't feel like talking, I'm just answer. And I just vent and go on, and because like I don't know. Let's talk about what I go through, but I don't know why. Like I don't know. That's something I need to work on. Myself. But it don't be like nothing like intentionally going. But one shit that I do go, we probably talk about. But it be like life stuff, like bills wise, finance. Any little thing. Stuff like that. But. And I just like shut down, like, I'm tired of going to work. I come home and chill, stuff like that could be like, it don't even gotta be like relationship wise, just like any of those things. But this bitch would just be like,
because I talk to people everything.
Answer the phone, like, I called you, why you ain't answer? I will tweet something and she would just be like, I called you. I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I'm like, this girl is fucking crazy. But I'd be like, I'm about to call you back. And like,
I be needing to talk. And I probably gotta like stop doing that. I do it with all my friends. Like,
yes,
girl, I called you. Why you ain't answer phone?
I be like, oh my
like,
god.
I know you seen me call you. Shanisha.
Everybody.
I be Shanisha voice messages. Like, bitch, I know you fucking seen me. Like, but it just be like, all right, I just be wanting to kind of, even if I'm not kind of going through something, maybe I just want to vent for that.
And right time you told me about the video, the podcast that you about to do this time. When you talking like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, and why?
I don't know.
No, I know, because I don't forget nothing. You was going through something.
Oh yeah,
personally, right? But we were still talking about it, and I called you to check up on you like the next couple days later. I'm like, let me call to check up on you, but you didn't answer. You didn't respond back, never nothing. I was like, oh okay.
Yep, you was like, bitch.
It went a couple days. Then like you text me like the next week, like I wasn't ignoring you. I'm just kind of going through something. I'm trying to like I need some time to get myself together. And I told you, you was like, I'm gonna call you. And I was like, okay, you never called me. But then when I dropped the podcast, it was like, you straight text me like, oh, bitch, I'm about to call you. I was like, wait. I'm just like, damn, I ain't talked to you in like 2 weeks. You supposed to call me.
Did you come down there? Did you come to me outside there by something?
When?
When you talking about the podcast? Or did you?
I don't know. I think I was on the phone with you.
Oh, I thought we was talking person to person.
We probably was. I don't quite remember, but it was like, damn, I ain't talked to you in 2 weeks.
Basically.
And then you just straight jumped in my fucking text message with some, oh, I'm about to call you, because I was like, wait. I was just like, I didn't even talk to you. Like, damn.
No, bitch, but, you already had told me about the podcast. And
yeah, but when you seen that, after, that's what I'm talking about. After you seen the episode, you never, like, when you was going through what you was going through, and this is what I'm saying was like, I never seen that side of you of like shutting down, isolating yourself, because man, you always communicated. Whether it happened a couple days later, whatever, we was always calling each other like, girl, because let me tell you what this nigga did, or why the fuck this, that, and the third. Right. Like we always talked about it. So when you did that, I just was like, Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't
You're
gonna keep
right. It was
beating the
like,
phone down.
yeah.
You was like, I needed some time. I wasn't ignoring you. I had to get my head together. But I'm gonna call you. And I was like, okay. And you never called me. But then when I dropped the episode 2, and you seen it, you text me like, I'm about to call you because I'm second way. And I was like, oh damn, that's the only reason why I like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of like that. But I thank you very much for coming on here with me.
Because I didn't, but
and sharing your
I had to
story.
support you, and
Thank
I'm
you
glad
very
we got
much.
to talk about it, even though we talked about it before. But I'm glad, got to talk about it, and I was able to tell my side.
Okay, well, I thank you for coming on the podcast with me and having this conversation publicly in front of everyone. So I do thank you for that. So let's make a toast. We're gonna do cheers to
Growth,
okay,
friendship.
growth, friendship, and what else? Cheers to us. Fuck it.
Like and subscribe to my mommy podcast.